Welcome to an eerie journey through the heartland of Iowa, where history meets mystery in the shadows of its most haunted locales. From abandoned schools to haunted roads, join us as we uncover the most chilling tales and ghostly encounters that linger in the corners of the Hawkeye State. Prepare to be captivated as we delve into the unknown, exploring the eerie legends and haunted histories that make Iowa's most creepy places truly unforgettable. Number 8. Stony Hollow Road. In the heart of Burlington, Iowa, lies a quaint and picturesque community, but every town has its hidden sorrows. Among the quiet streets and rolling farmlands lies the most infamous stretch of road in the state, Stony Hollow Road. This rural pathway, once witness to a tragic event in the 1800s, appears unassuming by day, serving as a simple route through the Iowa countryside. Yet, as the sun dips below the horizon, the road takes on an eerie stillness, its shadows concealing untold secrets. Perched ominously along the roadside is a towering cliff, shrouded in legend and whispered tales. It is here that the ghost of Lucinda is said to dwell. The story goes that Lucinda, awaiting her husband's arrival, met her untimely end on this very cliff. Believing herself abandoned, she made a crucial decision that sealed her tragic ending. Yet, as fate would have it, her husband arrived moments too late, his delay caused by his wagon being stuck in the muddy roads. Even now, the air around the cliff holds a palpable sense of sorrow and loss. Those daring enough to venture there after nightfall can invoke her spirit by calling her name 3 times. Lucinda, Lucinda, Lucinda. Some claim to have witnessed her spectral form materialize, a fleeting glimpse of the troubled soul forever bound to the spot of her demise. But beware, for it is said that if Lucinda bestows upon you a single rose, your own fate may be sealed within the coming days. Despite the ominous warnings, there are those who seek out Lucinda's ghostly presence, drawn by the allure of the unknown and the thrill of the supernatural. Yet, it is said that she is easily frightened away, preferring the solitude of her haunting grounds. Thus, in the darkness of Stony Hollow Road, amidst the whispers of the wind and the shadows of the night, the legend of Lucinda lives on, a haunting reminder of the tragic secrets that lie hidden within the heart of Burlington, Iowa. Number 7. The Squirrel Cage Jail. In the heart of Council Bluffs, Iowa, stands a peculiar structure that has captured the imagination of locals and visitors alike, the Squirrel Cage Jail. Built in 1885, on the site of an old church morgue, this unique rotary-style jail was designed to revolutionize the incarceration system with its innovative and efficient layout. However, what began as a bold experiment in prison reform would soon descend into a nightmarish realm of despair and tragedy. The Squirrel Cage Jail derived its name from its distinctive 3-story rotating cell block, which operated on a carousel-like mechanism. This design was intended to streamline the process of housing inmates, by allowing a single jailer to monitor multiple cells simultaneously. Yet despite its lofty ambitions, the jail soon became synonymous with hardship and suffering. Conditions within the Squirrel Cage Jail were harsh and unforgiving. Inmates were subjected to overcrowded and unsanitary living conditions, with little access to fresh air or natural light. Disease and despair ran rampant within its walls, casting a pall of gloom over the inmates trapped within its confines. But it was not just the physical toll of incarceration that haunted the Squirrel Cage Jail. Over the years, reports of paranormal activity have swirled around the historic landmark, drawing ghost hunters and thrill seekers to its foreboding gates. Visitors to the Squirrel Cage Jail have recounted chilling encounters with restless spirits and ghostly apparitions. Some claim to have heard disembodied whispers echoing through the empty corridors, while others have reported feeling an unseen presence brush against their skin. One of the most enduring legends associated with the Squirrel Cage Jail is that of a former inmate named Jake Bird. Convicted of murder in the 1940s, Bird is said to have cursed the jail upon his departure, vowing that it would never house another prisoner. He stated, "I am casting the Jake Bird hex upon all those involved in my punishment. Remember my words, you shall meet your end before I do." Reportedly, 6 individuals associated with his trial passed away. Some believe that his vengeful spirit still roams the halls, seeking retribution for the injustices suffered within its walls. In the 1950s, a jailer faced unsettling occurrences, causing him to refuse to reside in the fourth-floor apartment of the jail. Footsteps echoed on the floor when no one else was present, which prompted the jailer to relocate to the second floor to evade the unexplained noises. Today, museum staff and volunteers recount similar experiences within the confines of the old jail. Many of the jail staff and volunteers have reported hearing footsteps, voices, whispers, and doors moving. Some have even glimpsed dark shadows darting across the stairs or drifting past doorways. The museum's manager attributes the perception of the jail being haunted to the documented deaths that occurred within its walls. 4 fatalities are known to have taken place. A prisoner succumbed to a heart attack. Another fell 3 stories while attempting to carve his name on the jail's ceiling. A third prisoner tragically ended his own life, and an officer lost his life due to a gun misfire during training. Today, the Squirrel Cage Jail, with its rusting bars and crumbling masonry, serves as a testament to the dark chapters of Iowa's history. And for those brave enough to step foot inside, the Squirrel Cage Jail offers a glimpse into a world where the boundaries between the living and the dead blur, and the echoes of the past refuse to be silenced. Number 6. Ferrar Schoolhouse. In the rural town of Farrar, Iowa, amid fields of corn and rolling hills, lies the abandoned Ferrar Schoolhouse, a place where the echoes of laughter and learning have long since faded into silence. What was once a bustling center of education and community has become a haunting reminder of the passage of time and the mysteries that linger in its wake. Built in 1921, the Ferrar Schoolhouse served as a beacon of knowledge for generations of students who passed through its doors. But as the years wore on and enrollment declined, the school fell into disuse, its halls growing empty, and its classrooms gathering dust. The school finally closed its doors in 2002. Today, the Ferrar Schoolhouse stands as a relic of a bygone era, its weathered facade bearing witness to the passage of time. But beneath its crumbling exterior lies a deeper, more sinister history, one that has earned it a reputation as one of Iowa's most haunted places. Legend has it that the Ferrar Schoolhouse is haunted by the spirits of former students and teachers who met tragic ends within its walls. Or maybe the hauntings are of those buried in the 150-year-old cemetery across from the schoolhouse. Tales of mysterious footsteps echoing through the empty corridors and ghostly apparitions drifting through the abandoned classrooms have long fueled speculation about the true nature of the school's eerie presence. Nancy Oliver, the current owner of the school, found herself drawn to the gymnasium stairs, where she claimed to have seen the fleeting figure of a young boy. His presence lingered in the air. But this encounter was just the beginning. In the dimly lit classrooms, she spoke of a spectral apparition, a young girl in a frilly dress with curls cascading down her shoulders. The sound of her giggles echoed through the silence, leaving her with an unsettling feeling. The former janitor had his own share of eerie experiences. Despite his efforts to switch off the gym lights after hours, they would inexplicably flicker back on, casting eerie shadows across the empty space. Strange footsteps echoed through the corridors, as if someone, or something, was wandering the halls in the dead of night. And then there were the sightings of a shadowy figure descending from the principal's office, and a boy emerging from a closet in room 206. These tales seemed straight out of a ghost story, yet they were rooted in the chilling story of Farrar Schoolhouse. Over the years, paranormal investigators and ghost hunters have flocked to the Farrar Schoolhouse in search of answers. Some claim to have captured evidence of supernatural activity, including electronic voice phenomena and anomalous readings on their equipment. Despite its ghostly reputation, the Farrar Schoolhouse remains a cherished piece of Iowa's history, its crumbling walls standing as a testament to the resilience of the human spirit. And for those brave enough to explore its haunted halls, the Farrar Schoolhouse offers a glimpse into a world where the past and present collide, and the spirits of the departed refuse to be forgotten. Number 5. Hotel Blackhawk. Situated in the heart of Davenport, Iowa, the Hotel Blackhawk exudes an aura of elegance and grandeur. Yet, beneath its luxurious facade, lies a history steeped in tragedy, scandal, and whispers of the supernatural. The history of the Blackhawk Hotel in Davenport, Iowa, is a captivating tale of elegance, resilience, and enduring charm. Originally opened in 1915, the hotel quickly established itself as a premier destination in the Midwest, catering to discerning travelers and locals alike. The Blackhawk Hotel was constructed during a time of prosperity and growth in Davenport. Its grand Beaux-Arts-style architecture and opulent interior design captured the spirit of the era, providing guests with a luxurious retreat in the heart of the city. Throughout its early years, the Blackhawk Hotel served as a vibrant social hub, hosting extravagant events, galas, and gatherings that attracted prominent figures from across the country. The hotel's guest list featured a lineup of presidents, celebrities, business tycoons, and socialites, epitomizing the era's elite. During the Roaring '20s, the Blackhawk Hotel reached new heights of glamour and sophistication. The hotel's ballrooms and dining halls buzzed with excitement as guests danced the night away to the rhythms of jazz and swing music. Lavish parties and soirees became synonymous with the Blackhawk experience, drawing visitors from far and wide to partake in the festivities. However, like many establishments, the Blackhawk Hotel faced challenges during the Great Depression. Economic hardship and changing travel trends led to a decline in business, forcing the hotel to adapt to survive. In the decades that followed, the hotel underwent various renovations and changes in ownership, each chapter adding to its rich tapestry of history. In February 2006, a fire broke out in an illegal substance lab on the 8th floor of the hotel. The hotel's condition was on a steady decline. The city of Davenport stepped in and assumed ownership. In October 2008, a development agreement was signed, transferring ownership to Hotel Blackhawk LLC. The hotel reopened on December 15, 2010, and in March 2013, Hotel Blackhawk joined the Marriott Autograph Collection and became a 4-diamond hotel. It's been voted the best hotel in Iowa by Business Insider and remains a key player in downtown Davenport's revitalization. However, over the years, guests and staff have reported a myriad of paranormal experiences within the Hotel Blackhawk. Witnesses spoke of encountering a pleasant female entity, elegantly dressed in an evening gown, gracefully floating down the hotel's halls. Some speculated that she was en route to the grand ballroom, perhaps anticipating an evening of dining, dancing, and revelry. Adding to the intrigue was the sighting of an elderly, well-dressed man, reminiscent of a bygone era. Witnesses reported seeing him going about his business in the hotel. Some even suggested that he bore a striking resemblance to the iconic actor Cary Grant, who happened to be a guest of the hotel when he passed away. In the ballroom, another ghostly presence was said to linger. Witnesses claimed to hear the haunting strains of piano music emanating from the empty room, attributing the melodies to a musician who once graced the stage solo or with a band. These spectral encounters lent an air of mystery to the Blackhawk Hotel, enticing visitors to ponder the secrets hidden within its walls and the stories of those who once walked its corridors. Despite its dark past, the Hotel Blackhawk remains a symbol of luxury and sophistication in Davenport. Yet for those brave enough to venture within its walls, the hotel offers more than just a luxurious retreat. It provides a peek into a realm where the boundary between the living and the dead is faint, and the echoes of history persistently endure. Number 4. Mason House Inn. In the quaint village of Bentonsport, Iowa, nestled along the banks of the Des Moines River, stands the historic Mason House Inn. Built in 1846 by Mormon craftsmen, the inn has served many purposes throughout its long history, including as a stop along the Underground Railroad during the tumultuous years leading up to the Civil War. Despite brief closures for renovations and floods, the inn has maintained its status as one of the oldest continuously operating inns in the United States. Originally named the Ashland House, it catered to Mormons, steamboat passengers, and other travelers along the Des Moines River. Renamed the Phoenix Hotel in 1857, it eventually became known as the Mason House Inn, after remaining in the Mason family for nearly a century. The inn has a history marked by tragic events, including the deaths of 3 owners and a guest murder. It served as a hospital during the Civil War and was utilized again from 1920 to 1940 by a doctor treating patients on site, where he and several patients succumbed to diphtheria. The exact number of casualties during the Civil War remains uncertain. According to the owners, the Mason House Inn is believed to be inhabited by at least 5 spirits, with numerous reported encounters. George, a young boy's spirit, is said to haunt the inn, often playing tricks on guests by moving objects, knocking on doors, and tugging at clothing. One guest experienced a mysterious tug on his pajamas in room 5, awakening to find no one there, leading him to reconsider his skepticism about ghosts. Another reported apparition is that of an old lady in a white nightgown, believed to be Mary Mason Clark, observed on the 3rd floor, particularly in the south bedroom used for storage. Guests staying below this room have reported hearing thumping and squeaking noises, reminiscent of someone dropping items or rocking in a chair. Former owner Mr. McDermott encountered the ghost of Mary Mason Clark in the 3rd floor south bedroom, where he had his office. She expressed dissatisfaction with renovations. Despite repeated efforts to wallpaper room 5, the paper was consistently stripped off until a specific pattern was used. She expressed her satisfaction by leaving the wallpaper intact. The apparition of an old gaunt man with white hair has been observed on the 2nd floor, often appearing in mirrors and disappearing when approached. His head is prominently visible, while the rest of his form appears as a column of fog. In room 8, the owner's daughter witnessed the spectral head of the old man floating across the room in the dead of night. Mr. Knapp's presence is tied to a documented tragic event detailing a murder within the inn. Mr. Knapp, becoming confused while visiting the tavern, was fatally stabbed in the heart after mistakenly attempting to enter an occupied bed. Guests sensitive to the supernatural have reported a heavy atmosphere in room 7, where footsteps are heard despite no one being present, and the impression of someone lying on the bed suggests Mr. Knapp may still seek rest there. Fanny Mason Kurtz, the last Mason owner, passed away in the dining room in 1951. Another sensitive guest felt her presence in the room. She sensed that a lady had died in a rocking chair by the fireplace. It turns out she was right. Fanny Mason Kurtz died in that very location at the age of 84. Her body remained undiscovered for 3 days. Mason House Inn is now a charming bed and breakfast where guests are also invited to book a stay or engage in paranormal investigations. With such a rich history, the Mason House Inn is rife with paranormal encounters, leaving one to wonder how many other spirits may linger within its walls. Number 3. Malvern Manor. Deep in the heart of Malvern, Iowa, stands a historic building with a story as intriguing as it is chilling, Malvern Manor. Built in the late 1800s, Malvern Manor was originally constructed as a hotel to provide shelter to the railroad visitors. However, as the decades passed, its purpose evolved. Malvern Manor was sold and transformed into a retirement nursing home and group home providing comfort and care to the elderly and developmentally ill. The group home was reportedly closed down in 2005, following allegations of abuse against its residents. Although currently unoccupied by human inhabitants, the manor is reputed to be haunted. The manor has become a focal point for numerous paranormal investigations, with many reports of supernatural activity throughout the building. One room, known as Gracie's room, was formerly occupied by a resident named Gracie, who was described as having multiple personalities and exhibiting chaotic behavior associated with schizophrenia. Visitors claim to have heard her disembodied voice echoing in the room. In the nurses' wing, visitors have reported hearing ghostly voices, witnessing mysterious shadow movements at the end of the hallway, and observing a shadowy figure moving unnaturally along the corridor. This figure is believed to be a former male resident, who was described as being deranged and stood over 6 feet tall. He was known to dart down the hallways and chase staff members. On the 2nd floor, visitors have reported hearing disembodied voices, coughing, witnessing objects moving on their own, seeing shadows, and hearing footsteps. Paranormal investigators have documented EVPs capturing sounds such as whistling and scratching noises on the walls, and the feeling of someone breathing on their necks. One individual claimed to have felt an ominous presence in the Shadow Man hallway, and reported being physically lifted by an evil spirit between rooms 17 and 18. These accounts represent just a selection of the numerous paranormal experiences reported by visitors to Malvern Manor over the years. As word of the manor's eerie reputation spread, paranormal enthusiasts flocked to Malvern, eager to experience its otherworldly energy firsthand. Despite its haunting reputation, Malvern Manor has found a new purpose in recent years. Today, guided tours offer insight into the building's rich history and its paranormal legacy, allowing guests to decide for themselves whether the stories are mere myth or chilling reality. Television shows and documentaries sought to uncover the truth behind the haunting tales, delving into the building's dark history and the stories of those who had passed through its doors. Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying the allure of Malvern Manor. Its storied past and mysterious atmosphere continue to captivate those who dare to explore its haunted depths, making it a destination unlike any other in the heart of Iowa. Number 2. Edinburgh Manor. Nestled amid the tranquil landscape of Jones County, Iowa, stands the imposing Edinburgh Manor, a site steeped in chilling legend and spectral encounters. Originally intended to serve as the county's seat, fate intervened, leading to the establishment of a poor farm on its sprawling grounds. The history of Edinburgh Manor traces back to 1850, when it was erected as a refuge for the destitute, infirm, and elderly residents of the area. However, its doors also welcomed individuals afflicted with mental illness and lacking familial support. Tenants were given shelter and food in exchange for their labor. As time wore on, the poor farm became a final resting place for many, their remains laid to rest in the cemetery that silently watched over the property. Over 200 souls met their untimely end within its walls, casting a shadow over its once promising beginnings and earning it a haunting reputation as one of the most eerie locations in the United States. In 1911, Edinburgh Manor emerged as a beacon of hope on the site of the former poor farm, providing solace and care to those in need. For nearly a century, it stood as a sanctuary, witnessing the trials and tribulations of its inhabitants. However, concerns over safety led to its closure in 2010, casting a shadow over its once bustling halls. Left abandoned and forgotten, the manor awaited its fate until new owners Cindy and her husband stepped forward with aspirations of restoration. Yet their efforts were met with inexplicable occurrences, prompting them to embrace the manor's haunted reputation. In 2012, Edinburgh Manor reopened its doors, inviting the brave and the curious to explore its haunted halls and eerie corridors. Among the tales whispered within Edinburgh Manor's walls, one speaks of a playful spirit known as Susie. Visitors report hearing the echoes of childish laughter and the patter of little feet, believed to be Susie roaming the hallways. Room 106 is said to be her favorite haunt, where she delights in playing with toys left behind by curious visitors. Another spirit of a man is said to roam the first floor, a solemn figure occupying room 121. This spectral presence is often sighted wandering the halls. Legend has it that this spirit met a tragic end, deleting his own life in what is referred to as the janitor's closet. Room 105 holds a darker tale, whispered in hushed tones among those who dare to tread its threshold. It is said that this room was the scene of a brutal assault, and visitors often report feeling a palpable sense of unease upon entering. The air is heavy with the weight of tragedy, and some claim to have heard disembodied voices and recorded chilling EVPs. Moving to the second floor, visitors describe encounters with a spectral woman in white who is often sighted at the top of the stairwell. She disappears without a trace, leaving behind only a lingering sense of unease. Room 204 holds its own mysteries, with reports of a toy fire truck mysteriously moving on its own, seemingly propelled by unseen hands. Descending into the basement, visitors are met with tales of a hostile spirit who inhabits its depths. Described as a tall, slender man wearing a brown cowboy hat and a long duster coat, he is known as the Joker, a malevolent presence with a penchant for mischief. This sinister entity is said to leave marks on visitors, and some claim to have witnessed dishes being hurled across the room in fits of rage. Despite its dark reputation, Edinburgh Manor continues to draw visitors from far and wide, each seeking to uncover the truth behind its haunted halls and spectral inhabitants. As day turns to night, the manor stands as a silent sentinel, its secrets locked away within its ancient walls, waiting to be discovered by those brave enough to seek them out. Number 1. Villisca Axe House. In the small town of Villisca, Iowa, stands a house that holds a dark mystery, one that continues to haunt the imaginations of those who dare to venture inside. Known as the Villisca Axe Murder House, this unassuming residence gained notoriety on the fateful morning of June 10, 1912. The Moore family, consisting of Josiah and Sarah Moore and their 4 children, lived a seemingly ordinary life within the walls of their modest home. Little did they know that tragedy would soon shatter their peaceful existence. On the warm summer night of June 9th, shortly before the incident occurred, the Moore family attended a church service that ended around 9:30 p.m. They returned home between 9:45 and 10 p.m. The family soon went to bed, like any ordinary night. Armed with an axe, an assailant entered the home and mercilessly took the lives of the entire Moore family as they slept. In addition to the 6 members of the Moore family, 2 young girls who were spending the night also fell victim to the attack. When the sun rose the next morning, the town of Villisca was thrown into a state of shock and horror. The discovery of 8 lifeless bodies, harmed beyond recognition, sent ripples of fear throughout the community. Despite an extensive investigation, the identity of the assailant remained elusive, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and unspeakable sorrow. The case of the Moore family in Villisca remained unsolved despite numerous suspects. One of them, Reverend George Kelly, stood trial for the attack. Kelly, a traveling minister, was present in town the night of the crime and attended the same service as the Moore family. He left town between 5 and 5:30 a.m. the following morning, raising suspicion. Despite his questionable behavior and past involvement with the law, including a stint in a mental hospital, he was arrested in 1917, but eventually acquitted due to doubts about his mental and physical capability to commit the murders. In the years that followed, the Villisca Axe House became a symbol of tragedy and terror. Locals whispered tales of restless spirits and lingering curses, warning others to steer clear of the haunted dwelling. But despite the warnings, curiosity drew brave souls from far and wide to the scene of the crime. As visitors crossed the threshold of the Villisca Axe House, they were greeted by an eerie silence that seemed to hang heavy in the air. Some reported hearing faint whispers echoing through the empty rooms, while others claimed to have felt an icy chill brush against their skin. Apparitions of the family were said to roam the halls, their faces twisted in eternal anguish. Others reported witnessing objects move on their own accord, or feeling an invisible presence watching their every move. It is these encounters with the supernatural that truly cemented the house's reputation as one of the most haunted places in Iowa. The Villisca Axe House has gained notoriety through various ghost hunting shows and podcasts, such as Ghost Adventures and Lore. In 2014, the house made national news after a man stabbed himself during an overnight ghost hunt. Located in a residential neighborhood, the Villisca Axe Murder House contrasts with its quaint exterior against the legend surrounding it. The house is well maintained and open for tours with amenities such as a sales booth and gift shop. As the sun sets on this seemingly serene farmhouse, one can't help but wonder, what secrets linger within its walls? Are the spirits of the victims trapped in eternal unrest, or does the sinister presence of the murderer still haunt its corridors? Perhaps it's merely the lingering residue of the unspeakable crime that stains its very essence. For those brave enough to seek answers, the infamous Villisca House awaits, offering an overnight stay that promises to unravel the mysteries within. As our journey through Iowa's most creepy places comes to an end, we leave behind the whispers of ghostly encounters and the echoes of haunted histories. From the chilling tales of abandoned buildings to the eerie legends of spectral apparitions, these places have captured our imaginations and left an indelible mark on our minds. As we bid farewell to the mysteries of the Hawkeye State, we carry with us the knowledge that the past never truly fades away, and that the spirits of the departed may still linger among us, waiting to be rediscovered in the shadows of the night. Thanks for joining me on this chilling exploration of Iowa's creepiest places. Hit the like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to stay up to date with our latest videos. Bye for now.